Hello. Today I just tried to make something go as fast as possible, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through my method and how I figured to make something go very fast. So, my first sort of thought was to just kind of, in a flat world, get really a good idea of what makes something fast. So we just have a simple little design here with level 6 infinite boiler and the max size propeller, and this thing goes approximately 160 meters a second, right? And so with that, I realized that just with propellers in general, the speed is capped at the airflow, right? Because the faster you go, the slower the air is moving relative. So when you're at 160 meters a second, you only get, what, 5% of your thrust, which means that that 5% would need to overcome friction for you to go any faster, which is hard because you're already going very fast, right? And so with a max size propeller of 1,000,000 SU, which is possible, but it would be very large, you can go 600 meters a second, which is obviously much faster, and the thrust to get there just kind of becomes obsolete. Like, you will get close to 600 meters a second, you will approach it. And then I sort of realized that with the Nether and the Nether roof, we don't actually have to make a plane, right? It can just be a slider like this, and that way it's very simple, because it's kind of hard to balance something that's that big, that's 1,000,000, right? So I tried doing that. So I just took that thing that I showed you and stuck it up here, and then I realized that the altitude, or the air pressure here, is 0. So you cannot use propellers. And then that sort of led me to this, led me to wheels, right? Basically the only other way of propelling yourself long distances. And so we have this little design now, and this is just kind of the result of me thinking, what's the fastest you can go with tires, right? So we've got ice block on the front, 2 tires, max speed with engines, and then the whole thing is as light as possible, because the more stuff you add, the slower it'll go, no matter what, is what I found at least. And so this goes pretty fast, I think. We're zipping along, right? It's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. And so with the Nether roof, this thing, when I tested it, moves at about 60, 70, 80 meters a second, depending on what you do. And to be fair, anything faster than that, especially on the Nether roof, I've found, will sort of lag out. And so that just looks like this, really. Again, not complicated. Half of the reason I wanted to make this video is just to show how mad I am at this in general. Because, I mean, we could just make a railroad track, but, a railgun track, I guess. But magnets are insanely expensive. You need copper for every single magnet, which is insane. And obviously you can't automate copper, right? So even if that goes 1,000 meters a second, you won't be able to get far enough for it to actually be significant, right? Not to mention all the time required to set that up. And so this I don't think is bad, right? I mean, if you just want to explore, you want to find a base location or get away, then this is a great way to do it pretty fast. I will admit that it's sort of finicky. It's hard to control sometimes. But it's honestly a pretty great design in my opinion. Oh, yeah, so sometimes, occasionally it will flip over. It's doing it a lot right now. I've got this velocity sensor on top. If I just break that, though, it should be, yeah, much more stable. Any faster than this, again, things start breaking, right? Chunk loading issues, just clipping through the map because it's bedrock, and there's no altitude, so you can't really fly either. Like, there's no way to get off the ground. This is the best solution I found, and I think that's pretty cool. Alright, goodbye. I also sort of forgot to mention that with Create Propulsion, you can do cool stuff with thrusters, because altitude actually doesn't apply to them, and friction is generally much more reasonable, or just acceleration because they have uncapped airflow. So with thruster setups, you can hit much higher speeds, but just be more cautious about, again, chunk loading and lag and just falling.